ladies. I'm so glad to be here with you guys today. And as Wendy said, I really feel like most of what I'm going to be sharing with you today is probably what you're already doing and encourage your coaches to do. And it's not like new information, because what the training that we have in place is still effective and is still working. What I find is a lot of these new coaches that come into my group, let me back up. How do I even get these people in my group? So every Thursday is rank advancement day. And so I get the list of coaches who advance to Emerald to Ruby. And then I invite all of those coaches into my group. They have to take a survey first, so I get a little bit of information about them. But last week I invited like 2,100 coaches had rank advance in the last 2 weeks into my group. So far, about 380 have said they want to join. They've had the invitation and I've let them into the group, and I have an ongoing group. And so it gets bigger and bigger. When people rank advance, I kick them out, or if they're not actually working in the group, oftentimes I'll message them and see if they're doing the work and just are not showing up in the group. I do have them posting their Success Club tracker every Thursday and answering a few questions so that I can gather feedback from them, and so I can see, you know, what it is that they're actually doing with the tracker and how that correlates with whether or not they're finding success in growing their business. And so it's kind of overwhelming because I have a lot of coaches in there at once. And so I can give a lot of one-on-one feedback, but the people who show up consistently, they get my time. And so I always encourage them to be showing up, asking questions, reaching out to me so that I can work with them and help them continue to grow their business. And so it's kind of probably like you guys, you know, the people who show up to your group, you're going to work with the willing, kind of support those other people and get them going, but not a lot of hand holding because I just don't have a way to do that with the number of people in this group. And so what I'm finding with the people coming into this group is they want to overcomplicate everything. Or they think they are doing all the things on the Success Club business activity tracker, but they're not tracking it. And so as soon as they start tracking it, they realize, oh my gosh, I was not even doing this. And then they start tracking it and they only do part of what's on the tracker. And they're like, I don't have time. And so I'm really encouraging them to be consistent every single day in the tracker, even if they only have 5 minutes. Even if they only have 1 minute for one section of the tracker, 1 minute is better than 0 minutes. And I'm finding that when they really buckle down and make that conscious decision to intentionally work the tracker, even if it is for that 1 minute, that they are able to see the success, they're able to grow their following, have more people to talk to so that they can start sending out those invites. A caveat that they've run into is they always want to put a number with how many invites do I need to be sending? How many people do I need to be talking to? And I'm always like, that number depends on you. How many people can you work with and feel like you can support and keep these ongoing conversations and really get to know people and get them results? Because it's going to be different for every single person, right? And so we do a lot of, you know, discovering who you are as a person when you get into this group, because a lot of them come into this group and they're like, I'm inviting to this free group and nobody's signing up. And I'm like, so what's your free group? And they'll, whatever it is. And I'm like, so are you sharing about this on your stories? Are you sharing about this on your social media? And they're like, no, I'm not. I'm like, well, why would anybody want to join your group if you're not talking about it? So we spend some time about whatever you're sharing and talking about on social media is what you're going to attract, and it is what you're going to get people to sign up and be in your group or sign up as a coach. If you're not talking about coaching and you're inviting to coaching, people don't have any idea what a coaching is. And I find it's important that they are sharing why do they love what Beachbody is doing for them? What do they love about being a coach? But most importantly, what does that even look like? What does their day look like? And is it fun, right? Because you guys know, if you're not having fun in this business, every week I ask my coaches in their surveys, are you having fun? Because if you're not having fun, it's going to be really difficult to find other people to come join you because it's not fun, right? Are you guys motivated by fun? And so, I mean, yes, you have to have a lot of hard work, but I love that Wendy asked her daughter the other day, her daughters asked her if she loved her work. And she was like, absolutely, because I get to wake up every day and work with people and help them become their best versions of themselves. And I feel the same way. And I'm sure you coaches feel the same way about your job as a coach, obviously, because you are here leading big teams and finding success. So quick overview, when they come into the group, we kind of go over what it is to get to diamond, what they need to get to diamond. There's a lot of confusion. They don't realize that the 2 emeralds coaches, the coaches below them that made those coaches emeralds, aren't actually their coaches. And so we're just kind of dispelling the myth of what they need to do to get to diamond. I'm also trying to dispel the myth of, hey, this isn't about rank advancement for the sake of rank advancement. You're here to build and make connections and help people transform their lives. And so ultimately, Beachbody is in the business of relationships, right? The ultimate goal is for you as a coach to have fallen in love with Beachbody and what it has done for you, enough that you want to share it with your family and friends. And I teach them that they want to have their coaches sign up, do the exact same thing, fall in love with it so much and have this belief system in it so much that they want to share it with their family and friends. A caveat with that is that they think, oh, I can just sign up whoever, X, Y, and Z in their family to rank advance. And these people are not working coaches. And then they're like, that's okay, because I'm going to work their business, right? That extra account that they think they can, that it's been called numerous things. And that's just kind of doesn't work for these brand new coaches, really, or for anyone, because instead of building one business, they're now trying to build 2 businesses, and they haven't even gotten their legs on the ground for their first business. And so really teaching them that, yes, you have to offer the best solution for the people that you're talking to. And sometimes the discount coach option is the only option that's going to work for them. But I always try to kind of make them tailor it to that person, because a lot of them, that's the first thing they say. Hey, you can get it for this much money. And they never even explore like doing the deluxe pack. Like, hey, this is really what you can get and here's the value. And then working your way down, they're automatically going, I can give it to you at a discount, which I'm just going, you can't do that, because A, it's not going to be a stable business. You're not actually growing your business. So really working with them to understand that building relationships, getting to know the people that they're talking to help them get results, is going to be the most effective way. And I can tell you, out of all the graduates, that is like the number one thing, is they said, I started focusing on people and viewing them as people and getting to know them and help them. That's what really propelled them forward. It took the sale out of it for them, because what they were doing sold it for them. And so we really focus on them learning how to build those relationships, make those connections. Once they have people in, they seem to forget that they have these people that they were going to work with, and they're always trying to get more people. And so going back to, okay, work with who you have, really help them get results while you're still recruiting, but really you can't forget about those people. So I don't know if that's something that you guys are seeing within your groups or with your people, or if it's just because the people that are in my group, I don't know if they got there because they weren't really wanting to work the business, or if they really wanted to work the business, because again, I'm just getting a list of everybody and anybody who rank advanced week over week. And so I would love to know if that's something that you're finding in your groups as you're bringing on people who are willing and wanting to work the business, or if it's just happening because I'm getting people in here that people have said, some of these coaches have said, I really wasn't into working this business, but I ranked advanced to emerald pretty quick, so it wasn't so hard. I think I can do this. And then when they realize that they actually have to work, even though it's not difficult work, they are like, oh. And so there's the, does that happen with you guys, or is it just because of who I'm dealing with? Yes? Okay. A couple of things that I wanted these coaches to know when they come into my group is that, like I talked about, Beachbody is in the business of relationships. Relationships, relationships, relationships. That is what matters. You as a person having this belief in who you are. So a lot of personal development, because a lot of times we think that these coaches just aren't motivated. And I think that's a false sense. They aren't necessarily not motivated. They just are lacking confidence. lacking confidence in their ability to do something because they don't see themselves as an expert, or they don't think they know enough and they don't have all the answers. And so I work with them to say, hey, it's okay for you to say, I'm not really sure. Let me check on that. Let me ask around and I'll get back to you. And just be honest and authentic and not trying to own up to knowing everything. And that has really seemed to help these coaches coming in with wanting to get off the ground running, but really lacking that confidence. We talk about the personal development on the tracker so that they can have that confidence in themselves and confidence in the Beachbody products. But then what are they sharing on social media? I have them do the color wheel assignment that you guys are all familiar with. And it's hard for some of them. They're like, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know who I want to attract. I don't know what I want my group to look like. And so I had them really work on who it is they are as a person and who they want to attract, and then sharing their life. Now, sharing Beachbody, how Beachbody has helped them, but Beachbody is kind of like the commercials in a TV show, and they're the star of the show. That has really helped the people in my group, because before they were just only talking about Beachbody, only talking about fitness, only talking about health. And then they're attracting people who are already healthy, already fit, or people are just turned off because they're like, I can just go sign up with somebody else who has more to offer, because I don't even know who you are or what you can do for me, because all you are is Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody. So I really try to have them flip the reel of sharing about themselves as people, and Beachbody products are there to help them be the best versions of themselves, and that they are there to help support them in their transformation and really get those results so they can love them and then invite their family and friends. They come in with the Success Club business activity tracker. And I think we think oftentimes it's all written out for you. So here you go, take it away and do it. And they have so many questions about the tracker that that's where I think they're kind of overwhelmed with the tracker, because we at corporate see it all the time. You as leaders are used to it. And I don't know if this is how you were when you came on, but they're just kind of overwhelmed and not really knowing what to do. So we spend some time, what does it actually look like? What does this part of the tracker mean? And then again, showing up with that consistency time and time over again. Again, the people leading my group are saying, changing the way that they, their belief, viewing people as people and helping them get results and start their own journey more than trying to sell them something, as well as really just being genuine and authentic has helped them, and was remembering their why of why they started, and sharing that is what has propelled them and changed the trajectory of their business. And so I continue to focus on those things. I have a whole entire training that I do on accountability. A lot of coaches coming in think they know what it is to be accountable to themselves and how to hold other people accountable. And you guys probably know accountability is probably hard. It's hard for these brand new coaches because they're brand new going, how do I call somebody out? How do I support them and not sound like a tyrant? And so we kind of walk through those kind of things so that they can learn, to be accountable to themselves and in my group, as well as hold their people accountable. A lot of training goes into what is it that you're doing. It needs to be a system that is duplicatable, that is simple, that the people you're bringing on can step right into it, make it their own as it speaks to them, and they speak about themselves in their journey. It has really helped them because they're coming on going, I have these new coaches. I don't even know what I'm doing. How do I teach them what they're doing? And so I'd say, hey, you can share stuff that's in my group with your coaches. Whatever you're finding in here that's working for you, share with your coaches so that you can get it done. I have them get a success partner within the first week, somebody in the group, because we are finding that coaches leaving my group attribute also having a success partner where they can share best practices with each other, where they can share some ownership in a bod group, help each other out, take away some of the stress from doing everything on their own. They're able to share that burden, as well as work on personal development together has been helpful in these groups of getting a success partner. Let me see. The other thing I have them do is creating a schedule for their business hours. A lot of these coaches come in and they're just one-offing whenever they have time, and they're like, I'm working all these hours and seeing no success. And a lot of it is because they haven't set any hours, And then when they go to work, they're not using the tracker, or if they are using the tracker, they're not setting a timer. And so they're inviting, and while they're inviting, people are responding, and so they're answering. So really focusing on doing one task at a time, and then moving on to the next task when the timer goes off. Make a note of where you are so that you can get through the whole entire tracker and be organized. As well as this, besides setting the office hour, I have them create a schedule for posting, which has really helped them be organized. It's freed up a lot of time. They're working less, but getting more connections, getting more engagement on their posts. And that has been successful for coaches that are in there. Let me see, what else do I have them do? I have them talk, I have shared with them the Carl questions, and talk about inviting in the most common situations, soft inviting where you're doing, you know, on your stories and in your posts versus actually sending out a personal invite. They always want to complicate and word vomit. And so I'm trying to teach them how to just be, hey, you're just like talking to your friend. Share what it is that you're doing, what you love, why you like it, and ask them if they want to join you. And they always think that's not enough. But when they finally simplify the invite, and even if it's just, can I send you some more information? People are responding versus getting ghosted. And so really trying to teach them that simplicity is the key versus sharing everything all at once. It's super overwhelming to them. We talk about tips again on social media. I think I already shared this about, you know, talking about Beachbody, talking about not just your challenges that you're running or your groups that you're running, but life as a coach. They always want to attract coaches, but then they don't know how to invite to coaching because they're not sharing about coaching. And then they're confused about what to share. Again, they always want to complicate it. And I just take it back to, what are you doing as a coach? What are some things that you do and why is it fulfilling to you? And what does your day look like? And sharing those things and asking people if they're interested or if they thought about doing this before, really just keeping it simple, while really leading from their heart and having the best interest of people that they're reaching out to help them find success in that relationship situation. I've had a few coaches say, I need to change my mindset because I'm in this for the money and I need to be in it for the people. And I'm like, no, you're fine. Be in it for the money. You don't want to give away your stuff for free. Ultimately, you do want to help people. You just don't want to do it for free. And so having that mindset shift has really helped people realize that it's okay to be in it for the money, because ultimately they do want to help people, but they want to get paid for it. And so that has been great feedback from them. Another thing is we talk about the recognition, because they get these people into their groups and they're not having engagement. And so I've given them some ideas for how to have engagement or how to recognize their coaches, how to recognize their customers, what that looks like in their group, what that looks like on social media. And that has helped them create engagement in their group and keeping people there and coming back. A lot of them come into my group and they rank and advance in as little as 3 weeks or 6 months, just depending on the person, where they are in life, and how much time and dedication they have when they come into the group. There's a lot of variables that come into play. And so there's just a wide variety of ranges, again, because I'm getting these coaches no idea where they're coming from. They just rank advanced every single week and they get added. So that's kind of the gist of it. I really, let me just make sure, they really just always want to make everything complicated. And I'm constantly having them simplify, be authentic, showing up as themselves, and being relatable, and talking to people as if they were just their friend. And the feedback from people leaving my group is when they are finally able to do that, that's when everything shifted in their groups.
Yeah. Jen, thank you for taking the time. I wanted all of you to know this is relatively new. This is an additional resource for you and your PS coaches that hit diamond, that rank advanced to diamond. This is an additional resource that corporate provides. Jen, you've been doing this. I know. Did you all know this? No. Right.
Yeah, it's new. I've only been doing it. I think I added people into my group like in August of last year. And so then they go from my group to Kevin Shaw's Diamond group, where he works with them from new diamond training and then push to 1 star. with those diamonds. They're kind of two separate groups. And I kind of have two groups going right now. I've been trying to weed people out with the survey where people say they're active and they want to join the group, or they're casual. And they all just say they're active and ready to work. And then they come into my group and they're not really. And I've gathered some feedback that it is, they rank advanced super quickly, that they thought they could make this work with relatively little work. And then they get into it and realize that it's more work. But it's not hard work. It's just that they have to be consistent. And so I really drive that home, that consistency is the key to getting your results. In addition to, your belief in yourself, your belief in the system, and talking about your life and that Beachbody products, what it has done for you in that aspect. So, I don't know, really focus. In my groups, yes, I want them to get to diamond. Yes, that's super important to rank advance, but I want them to do it in a way that is sustainable and in a way that actually grows their business in the long run. So they don't have like an empty shell where they get to diamond and then a week later they're back at emerald because they just signed a bunch of discount coaches up to make it to diamond. And then none of those people are working and then they get frustrated. And so I do spend some time talking about making sure that you're offering the solution, the right solution for the person, and then having your coaches fall in love with the product so they want to share too. And I don't, again, sometimes the discount coach option is the only option for that purpose, but I really want them to have that as a last resort for getting someone signed up, viewing that, as a brick and mortar store. You don't want to just have everybody come in and you discount everything to such a cheap price that people come in, they buy their product and they never return to your store again because they went, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think, Jen, to your point, a lot of some coaches just kind of got on a little late, so they didn't understand that there is a specific group for, obviously, a push to diamond group that you are working with. It is, can you just give them a Cliff Note version of just how long that it is, when it starts? And I know you've got two groups going on simultaneously. If you could share that with them, that would be amazing.
Yes. Yes. So it's a 4-week group. They're in there for 4 weeks. They are welcome to stay in after 4 weeks, as long as they're, and I have them go back through the guides that has the training, because it's kind of a work at your own pace with each day of the week, whatever it is, I have it posted in there. They can go back through the guides, and a lot of them have, when they go back through the second time, they're relearning, or information that didn't pop out the first time is popping out the second time. And I just had somebody who I let stay in the group for 6 months, and she rank advanced just last week. And she was so excited that, she was in the group. She was participating in posting of her tracker for an extra added layer of accountability. But really the group is designed to be finished in 4 weeks, but it's not necessarily designed to have them rank advance in 4 weeks. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. It makes perfect sense. Okay, so walk them through, if you would, because some questions are coming up in the chat, Jen. So once they get emerald, right? Once they rank advanced to emerald, do they get an email? How are they notified?
Yes. So what happens is I get the rank advancement list sent to me, and I go through and I get all the emeralds and all of the rubies, and I send them an email that has congratulating them for hitting emerald or ruby advancement, with a link to a survey to get to know them a little bit better, where I ask for the coach ID, their name, and a few questions about what it is they're looking to get out of Beachbody as a business. Are they actively working? Who were the first people that they, who got them to emerald? Are they running their own group right now? Just a few questions. And then from that survey, I then pull their emails from that survey, and based on their answers, currently I'm taking everyone, because everyone's saying that they're ready to work.
Yeah.
And then I send them another email that has a link to the Facebook group that I have running. And then they click on that and they ask to sign up. They have to answer a couple of questions to get in the group. And then I'm notified and I let them into the group.
Awesome. Okay. So lots of questions.
And I would say I try to add every single week the coaches that rank advance week over week and have them start on Monday. But sometimes I don't get the rank advancement list until Monday. And so then I just wait and I invite 2 weeks at a time. And so it really just depends. It's frustrating to me, but I'm doing the best I can with what I have, as you know, but I don't want people joining, you know, and I do have some people who, I invite them on Monday, but they don't ask to be in the group until Wednesday. I'm still going to let them in, but I don't want to be sending out, I don't have time to be sending out all these one-off invites. And so I give them a cutoff time for when they need to have the survey filled out. And then I say, I will email you Monday morning. I email them Monday morning with the link, with the directions of how the group kind of works. And I would say 75% of the people read the email, and the other 25% are asking me all the questions that were answered in the email. And so they're like, I'm confused. This is like week 2 video showing up on the feed. And it's like the welcome video says, do not scroll the feed for your assignment. Go to the guides. It says it like 3 different times. They get it. Anyway, but I would say that the majority of them do pay attention. There's just 25% that choose to not read.
Well, and we know that, right? Like that's the name of the game for sure. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of questions in this chat. I'm going to do my best to ask. If I miss out, please let me know. Okay. First one is this available? I don't believe it is. Is this available in Spanish?
Not that I know of. Okay. So I do have, so in the list that I get, I do take out the Spanish regions. However, I do know that I have some Spanish speaking coaches in there, but they must not have listed themselves as that, even though they clearly are. I can tell when talking to them and in their writing, but they're in my group. But there isn't like a Spanish setup that I know of, because that would be Karina, and there's just no way.
Okay. No, that's good. Okay. So how do we make sure our coaches are getting an invite?
So if your coaches rank advanced, they should be getting the invite, the email from me, because I just pull from the list. Right. There are occasions where I get pushback saying the email isn't valid.
That's what Doreen was saying. Sometimes it gets stuck in their spam, and I mean,
yeah. And it shouldn't get stuck in their spam, but it depends on their email. You know what I mean? So if you have coaches that you know rank advanced to Emerald, send them a message to be on the lookout for an email from Jay Thomas at Beachbody that has that link to the survey, and then to check their spam. If you have a coach that didn't get the email for whatever reason, just go ahead and email me at jthomas@beachbody.com with your coach's name and their email address, and then I can send it again to them. And maybe it will get to them. I don't know. If it's getting stuck somewhere, it doesn't matter how many times I send it. Most of the time, they're going to find it in their junk or spam.
Okay.
But I'm always willing to accommodate. I've had coaches reach out to me before. I don't necessarily need their coach ID because they can give it to me, but I do need their email address, because that's how I communicate most efficiently, starting off to get them into the group.
That's great. No, that's good. Okay. What's the email again? Okay. It's jthomas@beachbody.com.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Natasha.
And I should say really quickly, a lot of coaches mention that they are already in their uplines group. Yeah. Those coaches are still welcome to join my group, but they do get an email that says, I see that you're in your coaches group. We want you to be cognizant of your time, because if you join too many groups and you're just doing too many groups, you're overwhelmed and work doesn't get done. Whereas I think my group, there is some work, but the work is really just getting them to take action. Yeah. Right. So the stuff that I'm providing them is learning, and then I want them to go implement what they're learning. And I try to keep it short and simple so that they're actually doing the action and working versus sitting in training, if that makes sense.
It does. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I'm just trying to look through the chat right now. Okay. What about fallen diamonds, Jen? Can they be in?
Yikes.
I mean, it's a valid.
Here's the thing. I, at this point, haven't turned anybody down because it is a work at your own pace group where all of the assignments are in the guides. I really encourage coaches to not come in and Netflix the guides, though. I really want you to spend each day doing whatever task it is, because learning that and implementing that day over day is going to get that consistency. It's really going to get that ingrained. And if they're just Netflixing the whole thing, then they're spending all their time training and not working. And then they have forgotten all the things that they've done. So Yes, I would say, hmm, let me think about that for a second. Probably I can let them in just because I just can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to give them a lot of one-on-one time, if that makes sense. If they're showing up and doing the work and ask for one-on-one time and I have time, I'm always open to doing that. Does
Awesome.
that help?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm getting a lot of head nods. Yes. Okay. And to your point, I mean, for all of you that are on the call, this isn't to it's not to take away from anything that you're doing with your Emerald to Diamond push groups. Again, it's just an additional resource for you or for someone on your team that may need an accountability partner that maybe doesn't have one, or, you know, success partner that is going to hold them accountable. I mean, Jen's got, I mean, I look at last week alone, you all, 170 plus new diamonds just last week alone. You're seeing some amazing rank advancements from the CEO promo code. So, Jen, I mean, thank you. Thank you for going and sharing all of this information. There are, she's
And
got, go ahead.
can I just say one thing about my group? I really have tried to, the stuff that's in my group is, like Wendy said, not like the stuff that you're doing as a coach, because I'm not a coach and that's not my job. My job as a training team is to let them know the resources that's available, maybe some best practices, how to use a Success Club tracker. But I really don't want to be their coach, because that's not what I am. And that's kind of your role, if that makes sense. And so the things that I have going on in there, I really try to be, you know, not being a coach in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I think all of them appreciate and just, number one, acknowledge the fact that they weren't aware that this is another resource available to them and to their coaches. So that's awesome. Again, I think what you shared with us, Jen, is nothing that's new per se in terms of those diamonds. That, of course, it's a decision. You all know that. At the end of the day, it's a decision for these coaches to hit diamond. And that's what Jen had alluded to earlier. It's the decision, it's that mindset, breathing that belief in them. And with that being said, Jen, thank you so much for sharing. Now I'd like to open up to all of you, you know, in terms of your potential diamonds, those that are running for diamond, what does that look like? What are some things that you're doing them to breathe that belief into them? You know, Morgan, I know you mentioned that on the chat. It's like, you know, it's breathing that belief into them, because that's truly where they're lacking. And if we can really breathe that belief into them, right? Then they start to see some success and some traction, then that momentum and that consistency starts to happen. So how are you breathing belief into those potential diamonds that you have in your PS coaches or in your downline? And I'm just opening it up for anyone.
I'm going to start, because I don't know if I touched on this in my group. I mentioned it, but I really talk with these coaches and let them know in their color wheel assignment that there is nobody else exactly like them. There are people who have similar interests, but I really want them to know that they are their own superpower, that they are worthy just how they are as they continue to grow and learn, but that there's nobody that can replace them. They're irreplaceable, because there's only one version of them.
Yeah.
So since you called me out, I'll go ahead and share what I'm doing, because I feel like breathing belief into my coaches is 100% what has gotten our team into the qualifications we're in right now. And what I'm personally doing is I'm hand selecting people, and I am telling them that they are going to be our team's next diamond coaches. And so when I'm telling them that, I am literally speaking over them like, you're our team's next diamond. Let's get freaking excited, because you and I are going to work together these next couple of weeks, and we're going to plan, strategize, and get you there by, and I give them a date. So that's worked really well, because I don't know, I feel like belief is 100% what most coaches are missing in getting to diamond. Like the first 2 years of my business, I didn't realize how important that was, because people don't believe in themselves. People come from bad backgrounds to where stepping into something like this is scary. And so when I call out the good that I see in them and tell them that they're our team's next diamond and create tons of FOMO around it, they're like, oh my God, you think I'm the next diamond? Heck yes, let's do this. And so from there, that one-on-one time that I'm putting into like maybe 1, 2, or 3 people at a time, which really is not super time consuming for me, is what's making such a big difference. And what I'm doing on these one-on-one is, first, I start with speaking so much belief over them. Like, I am calling out every good thing that I see them doing, letting them know how proud I am of them and how far they've come, reminding them the impact in the lives that they're making. And then I go into, okay, now let's make the plan now. Let's look at your downline. We draw out the diamond roadmap together. So I have a piece of paper on my end, they have a piece of paper on their end, and we're going through and marking in all the bubbles. And then I'm taking them through strategy. And what the strategy is we're looking at, okay, who's been placing orders in your back office? What customers would maybe love to be, like, not obviously, Jen, you mentioned like discount coaches. We don't want to build on discount coaches, but we all do sometimes have those loyal customers that we're just not realizing, like, wow, this person's ordered for me the past 7 months in a row and I have not invited them. So we're looking into what we already have. We're looking at what coaches are currently inactive that maybe are ready to get back excited on their journey, and who can get flipped to active. And so we're writing down all these names on the roadmap. And then from there, then we're starting the challenge of, okay, now look at what you already have, which is so exciting. We have so much momentum already built in your business that now we just need to go and find 5 new active coaches who are ready to work this business with you. And so I would say belief, speaking it over them and telling them that they are going to reach this rank because you're going to help them get there, and that they have a team behind them. Because I really feel like the FOMO and the community piece is like the major success pieces. Like, when people feel a part of a community and they feel like cheered on and supported, they're doing it. And so when I have these girls selected, I then go to my diamond leaders and I say, hey girls, Ivy's our next diamond. Everybody go below her up, message her, cheer her on, shout her out. Like, they're going into her DMs, making sure that they're, just really creating that excitement around them being our team's next diamond. So really, yeah, Danielle just said belief, energy, and hype. And that's what's getting our team. We had 4 diamonds pop last week, and probably about 2 more that are gonna be popping here soon. So we've got the momentum, and that's really all we've been doing. Like, it's so simple. It's not overcomplicating it. I'm really just showing them like how simple diamond really is by helping them look at what they already have built, what's already in their customers, and how we can move into finding just a few more people, especially with the launch of Let's Get Up. So I hope that was helpful. That's just kind of what I've been doing.
That's very helpful. So I'm going to ask you a quick question. Let's build on that for just a moment, Morgan. So you're hand selecting them, right? From the very beginning.
Yes.
What are some of your, what are some of your indicators that tell you hey, this person has the potential? Is it SC5, their transfer? What does that look like?
So I've made a huge change in my business this year to where I am only recruiting people who are my people. I have no time and effort in the day to be recruiting people who I feel like genuinely I would not want to be friends with, because a huge part of my team is community and sisterhood and travel. And so we're really looking for a specific person, because I don't want to go on Diamond Recruit with people that I don't like. And so I'm really focusing on that one woman. And so I think because I've made such an importance in my business of finding a very specific woman. And when you really narrow down and niche down, you're not just finding one woman, you're finding hundreds of women that are that one woman. And I think because I've done that, my why is the same as other people's whys. And so it's so much easier to speak those things over them when I know what their day-to-day looks like. It's exactly what my day-to-day used to look like pre-Beachbody. I'm only finding the people who are just like me. And some people might be like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. I want to recruit everybody. I don't want to exclude people. Well, you can do that. But when I hear Moira, who's like the #1 coach in the company, speak, it seems like she's the same way. Like, her team is so community driven. They have so much alike. And so really adopting that ideal into my business this year, I think has really given us a lot of this momentum, because we're all so similar. We're all in the same seasons of life. We all want the same things out of this business. And so it's easier to create that hype and that excitement. And so pointing out like who's going to be that next person, it's who's showing up on social media, who's putting themselves out there. It's not a matter of, Success Club, Success Starter, like all the girls that pop diamonds, they were also success starters, but it's just finding the women that are really your people, breathing that belief into them so that hitting success club, hitting success starter, and then jumping into diamond is like a bam, bam, bam. That's just what you do. And I think it also really goes back to how I talk about coaching on my end before they're even signed up on my team, because I've really switched my lingo and present myself more confidently as a mentor on my stories. And I talk about how when people join my team, my number one goal is to help them reach the top 1% of the company. And so I think because I put that out there so much, they also kind of come into this like ready to run, ready to be a top coach with me, ready to do what we're doing. And so yeah, that's kind of been my game plan, honestly, of all of 2021. And it's been working out for us so far.
Oh my gosh, it has been. Absolutely. Morgan, thank you. Okay, so quick question Ashley had. Do you call it something that the team knows what it is?
Like as far as the diamond rank or?
Yes. Or your
we call it diamond. So we call it the leadership team. So I guess I take that back. It's not just diamond. I call it a diamond leadership team. And I put a lot of FOMO on being a leader on the team. And so when everyone hits diamond, that means like they're like officially a part of our team's leadership team, where we're like meeting together, planning stuff for the team. And I think that FOMO and that hype around that exclusive group also gets people really excited about like hitting that diamond rank.
Okay.
Oh wait, she just said the mentorship program. I don't do like a new coach mentorship. I am very just like one-on-one. I don't have like a set date of like May 12th through the 14th. We're all going to be going through this training together. I'm just getting started right calls, new coach calls, really one-on-one time. And again, just speaking that belief one-on-one over people. And then just using like chat pods.
Okay. Morgan, thank you. Okay, how about the rest?
Oh, I see her.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry, I think I was confused. Do we call it something when they're a part of that mentorship? No, I don't. I just, yeah, no. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, we also have a separate team called Shine On. Major FOMO from our calls. Diamond Retreats really pushes people to do when we do our pushes. Okay, so you do kind of focus one-on-one is what you're doing versus a new coach mentorship or new coach academy. Who's doing something like a new coach academy or a mentorship that is working, or that you are seeing some traction or some success in a different way?
We just have our pushers, the girls who have, 4 or more active coaches in their downline. We have them in a private chat group, and we meet every day except for Tuesday when we have our diamond chat at 10:30, and we work together. And it's really that, like Morgan was saying, that hype together, the energy and pushing and creating that momentum. Actually, she was just saying that, and I jumped in it's get your ASS to the Diamond Retreat chat, basically. And I hyped the girls up that are so close. And as soon as I said that, like everybody starts rolling in, like I've got 2 more, I got 3 more coming in. And really focusing on those sneak peeks or whatever activities that your team does that works really well. And doing it intensely together has been really, really effective. And like I said, these girls are blowing out. Literally, Morgan, you inspired me. I went in there and I just started, and they're like going nuts with their little gifts and getting all excited. So the mindset is such a powerful thing. They'll do the actions if they're feeling on fire.
Right. How many people, real quick, do you have in that group, in your private chat group?
I'm looking right now. There's probably 20 something. It's very, very close-knit group of people. It's not too huge, because I feel like it gets too big, it gets really watered down, people get discouraged. It's high level people who are ready to intensely work.
Right. And how do you keep them engaged?
We talk on a day, like they get on these Zoom calls like we have right now at 10:30, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Typically.
Okay, so you're doing it 3 days a week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And we do power hours together. Sometimes maybe somebody feels discouraged during that power hour, and we can pump them up. Somebody's having a win on how to get more eyes on them, and they share that. We all go do it together actively, and just a lot of collaboration together, and really focusing on that diamond chart. like being really intentional with all your actions and make sure you're not wasting your time. Because like Jennifer said, they can get into scrolling, training, all that stuff, and that's not going to get them anywhere. Just sitting there watching.
What else are you all doing with that diamond roadmap? How are you utilizing that for your calls or your private chat groups? How are you leveraging that and utilizing that?
At my diamond retreat, I literally laminated them and gave them to my team. And we share that a lot in my team. So with my diamonds who are already diamond, I gave them the challenge, and I'm doing it myself too. So I have a printed out diamond roadmap. Obviously, for some reason, I can't find it right now. But my challenge for myself and my diamonds is to recreate diamond every month. So 8 new coaches and 2 new emeralds. But then they're doing kind of the same with their downline. Is we use the diamond roadmap all the time. I tell people to print it out because for some reason, no matter how many times we send it or we post it in groups or it's in trainings, if they have a physical thing with bubbles they can fill in, it's like all the light bulbs go off and they understand everything. So I use that thing all the time.
So this is something really silly and small that I've done to kind of adjust the tracker and have my coaches take a different approach to it is first and foremost, I added a 5th circle on the bottom of the 4 and 4, just to really plant the seeds that like we don't want shaky diamonds, and one person out of 12 that makes a decision to push a pause button on a subscription can, obviously crumble everything. So I really have my coaches focus on getting those 5 and 5 in their emeralds as opposed to 4 and 4, just having them be forward thinking about stabilizing. But then also I have them write it in pencil. And I have them write it in pencil, not from a point of like fear, like you're going to have to erase names because people are going to cancel, but really just having the leadership mindset and understanding that people come and people go, and it's your job as a diamond to have a top-down approach and understand that like you need to build this thing really strong. And so it's important to know that people are going to move out of the way, and you're going to have to keep, working on keeping this stable and growing. So those are just two little tricks that we've used.
Yeah, no, that's good. Ashley, thank you. So 5 and 5, really kind of getting a stable diamond. Okay, what else? What else is working?
Oh, sorry. I can jump in. Sorry, I have to apologize. I just came back from the dentist, so half my face is numb. So don't look at me. Just listen. So I have a group that's similar to what Jatana was sharing. I have about 9 girls in there who had at least 4 people who were active in their downline, were pushing. And every week I have them updating their diamond map. But the very beginning of the group, and I do this with any time I have a coach that gets to the point of like having 4 people, active coaches in their downline, I have them take the diamond map and I have them write out 10 names next to every blank space. So that then they can start to, because I'm big into visualizing it, put it out there that here's 10 people. Hopefully one of those potential people in each blank space will sign up after you're talking to them. So they know that as they go through their bubbles with the 10 people, if they aren't getting responses back, then they're filling it in with 10 more people. So it's kind of really just giving them that vision of how many people it's going to take for them to talk to actually fill in their diamond, not just saying, hey, go find people and fill this in, but then constantly updating it too. So, and also the other thing I wanted to say too is the CEO codes really were a great way to kind of, I know we talked about it in the thread, but not just talk about, oh, great, here's a code, but it's actually not about the code. It's about the belief. You guys could have done this all along, and now you're doing it. Now you're helping people. Now you're filling in your diamond map. And that kind of way of speaking to my coaches on my team is really getting them excited and really building a lot of momentum. And also, having a diamond retreat again is huge. So I've been like dumping that in there, and we aren't even having one until November. But them knowing that they're getting, I get them a sweatshirt, and like they're all like wanting the sweatshirt and they're wanting to be a part of the community because so many people have missed that for so long. That it's just all of those things combined are just really creating a really awesome chat and a lot of momentum in there. So
awesome. I think everyone can agree with those CEO promo codes. It is breathing that belief into them, where they didn't have it before, especially those newer coaches that really had no intent to build this business whatsoever. And now they are. They didn't even know how they got to Emerald, right? And now they're getting into Diamond. And what does that mean? So how are you? And I know good night. We only have just a few minutes left. Anything else that anyone would like to share about how you're building, how you're finding your potential diamonds, how you're stabilizing them once they do become diamond? Any other additional ideas to share with the group?
I have a question. I think it's for Ashley. I think you said that you built to 2-star on discount coaches. Was it you who said that?
Yes. Yep.
How did you make the switch, or how did you make the switch then to start? Did you just invite those discount coaches to start working at some point, or?
Yeah, so what I do, and I talk about this in my team and actually often on team calls, is that I present the discount coach opportunity to every single person that says yes to our virtual gym or a community that I'm, whatever you call it, boot camp, everybody calls it something different. So I give them the choice to sign up with the discount immediately. And the people that, obviously everybody, your goal is to get them to love the products, have a great result. But I also then plant the seed to them that they have the ability to now bring a friend on and earn a referral credit for, towards what they invested in their package. My avatar is a broke mom. A lot of people don't have a lot of money. And if I can help them get that one first win where one person signs up, then they see that, first paycheck, that first recognition of Success Club points, of, being a part of a team and having the ability to actually build a business. And all of a sudden, that's where they go, oh, aha, I see what I can do with this, as opposed to waiting for someone that wants to come to me to say, I want to build a business. Those people are very few and far between. So I sign people up as discount coaches so they can save money. And I let them know that that's important to me from the get-go. But then I plant the seed to them like, hey, let's get you a friend that can sign up. So A, our team is earning elite points. B, they see how quickly they can send a link, talk to a friend, you know what I mean, get somebody involved. All of the sudden, by getting them excited and getting them a friend to join or something, their first win, they have that moment where they go, oh, wait a second, this is bigger than what I thought and easier than what I thought and kind of fun. And so that's when I'll invite them to do our 10-step checklist and a GSR and everything like that. So, but I teach my diamonds, out of 8 coaches, you only need 2 that want to work the business. So if you're going to sit around and wait for 8 people that are business builders, it would take you a year and a half to be a diamond. You know what I mean? You can be diamond
Absolutely.
in 6 weeks. You can be diamond in 4 or 6 weeks by offering people that discount coach opportunity, because you only need 2 workers to be diamond. So I mean, I built my business extensively. Our entire organization is made up of discount coaches, and it's great for volume for everybody. And I teach my team to offer that every single time.
I love it. I think the caveat is that a lot of coaches are signing up discount coaches and not having them bring a friend on, which is what I also teach them. Like, hey, you already invited 2 people to sign up that got you to Emerald, then have your people that you signed up as discount coaches bring their friend on. And so I think that right there is the key, because then those discount coaches have a friend with them. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
I think too, with discount coaches, just making sure that we're training our coaches to know that we don't trust discount coaches. They're here for a week and we replace them. Because I'm kind of the same way as Ashley, like, let's get there as fast as we can. Because then your job is just to show people how fast you got there and how they can now help people do it because you just did it. And so just, using that lingo, but also making sure they know, like, that you have to be prepared to replace them every single week. Because obviously we know you can't trust discount coaches. Like 4 weeks and gone.
Hence the pencil on the diamond roadmap.
Yes.
People are not signing up and canceling within a week or 2. I wouldn't have my organization do that if that was the case. But Larissa, laminating, that's such a good idea too, because you can erase and remark and erase and remark. And I think that's really important, because we get a coach cancellation, and potentially we're all facing dozens of coach cancellation emails, and it can really deflate your balloon. So I teach them to expect that every single person that says no to you is closer to a yes. Every single person that cancels their coach account is getting you closer to those business builders. So by just staying the course and doing the things and working on their mindset, that's where you really develop diamonds.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. Such great stuff. Okay. So hold on. One last thing. One quick question from Chris. Jennifer, if someone fills out the form and this is back to Jen. Someone's filled out a form and sends it now. Will you accept them in your group? She'll
I do. I added everybody on Monday. I'll probably add some people today because they had a deadline to get it filled out, but then I will kind of wait and add them again next Monday so that I'm not adding new people all day long, because getting a success partner is like the very first or second day, I can't remember. And so then if they're in there and they're waiting for a success partner, but everybody already found one, then it makes it difficult for them to move forward per se, if that makes sense. But yes, where is this form? I had to.
Did I miss that?
That's weird. I emailed everybody back yesterday who said they didn't get the form and said, hey, check your spam and let me know if you haven't found it. And nobody emailed me back and said they didn't get it.
Okay.
Do you know who they are?
Oh, I don't. Here's what I would say. I know we are over time. Message me.
Email me.
Oh, well, or you can message Jen, either one. But I was just saying just to message me, or you have her email address as well. Email her. She can get you the information. Thank you. You all, thank you so much for being on this.
Thank you guys.
Yes, it was so valuable. Thank you for the information. We have one more day to utilize. Final day to share the CEO promo code tomorrow. So best of luck this week. And I will see all of your beautiful faces next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.